Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV. Not just a YouTube channel, your main source for bull breed entertainment. I offer video services such as stud features, kennel features, and full event coverage. I also offer photography services such as puppy shoots, individual dog shoots, and full kennel shoots. You can see examples of each on any and all Bull-NA-ChinaShop social media pages. You can also see an in-depth look into my life and the American Bully lifestyle with my vlog found on the YouTube channel as well. Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV is also the home of the Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast, a real, raw, uncut podcast dedicated to the bull breeds and the American Bully lifestyle. You can find all episodes of the Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast, stud features, kennel features, event features, and all of the vlogs on youtube.com/Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV. Check it out and hit subscribe today.
I'm taking applications right now. I need more haters. What the fuck is going on? You amazing motherfuckers. And we are Bull-NA-ChinaShop back again. You want to advertise for something? Advertise my shit. Bull-NA-ChinaShop.com. What the fuck is the week? Stop taking fucking pictures of the pup. We're gonna be hosted by yours truly, Todd Lonely.
Yo, you beautiful motherfuckers. Guess what time it is? It is time for the Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast. Episode 60. Sweet Life Saturday with Jamie Sweet. This is going to be a questions from the listeners episode, as we do every 10 episodes here on the Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast. One thing I do want to mention, let me take my earphones off here. One thing I do want to mention before we get started, if you guys haven't been to, I know everybody just heard the YouTube commercial at the beginning. If you haven't been to the YouTube channel, check it out, all right? Wednesday, when I posted the podcast video, that was 100 videos on the Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV YouTube channel. So if you haven't been there yet, there's a lot of content on there. It's only, like I said, it's only been a little over a year, but the content that's on there will help you if you're just coming in. It'll be entertaining if you've already been in for a while, and you might learn something from the guests that I have on, or maybe even me. I don't know. Probably not, but maybe. So this week, anyway, 100 vids on YouTube. That's a big deal to me. Probably not a big deal to a lot of people. Big deal to me because that's
huge.
It's a lot of work, you know? 100 videos, that's a lot of work so far, and we're just getting started. So anyway, so this week, like I said, we're going to do questions from the listeners. Now, I went back through and scoured over messages from the Bull-NA-ChinaShop.com Facebook page, from the Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast Instagram page, and I've come up with 5 fairly relevant questions. The one's kind of a gimme, a little plug promo for me.
Is this like asking for a friend?
This is like
asking for a friend.
Before asking for a friend, there just used to be a Q&A section of stuff where people asked, you know, what they were anything they had questions on. And the one thing I haven't done yet is actually shouted out the people that were sending the questions in, because I didn't know, they didn't specify whether they wanted to be heard or, named or not. So this week we're going to name names and we're going to put it out there. There's no shame in asking questions. I mean, I can't tell you how many questions I ask, So there's no shame in asking questions. If you have a question and you do not want your name said on the podcast or on YouTube, just put that in your message when you send a question and I won't say any names.
Or just make one up.
Or make a name up. We make it like a trucker handle.
Yeah.
What would your trucker handle be?
Bully Mama.
Bully Mama. I think I would go a little something darker than that, probably. Rubber Slinger or something, or like That sounds bad, actually.
That
Rubber
sounds
slinger.
pretty bad.
Like a loose meat sandwich out here. Breaker 19, we've got rubber slinger out here looking for a loose meat sandwich. Anyway, okay, so the question number one, and Jamie and I kind of already talked about these, so we kind of both pretty much agree on most of these. But question number one is from Regina Williams and Will Harmon on Facebook. Super good question, actually. Regina and Will write, I have 3 females that I'm very happy with. Some friends that are breeders suggested that I should buy a male to go with my females. Would it be better to buy a male from someone else or produce a male with the females I already have? James, I'm going to let you tackle that one first.
I think this is a great question, and it's a question that I get asked a lot also. And
That's a pretty common question, right?
It's very common, when people are starting out. But I think there's 2 ways to answer this. And I used to ask my dad this very question a lot because I always wanted to keep a lot of males that I produced. And Dad would say this to me, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to do? Well, sometimes I didn't know. Obviously, when you're starting out, sometimes you don't know. Maybe my best answer for beginners would be, instead of trying to produce a male, because you might feel like he's going to be the male that's going to match with all your bitches, which is not the case, I would say to continue to do research, talk with people that have males that you like, and I would breed to some of these males and pay the stud fee so you can have the choice of the litter instead of letting the stud owner get the first pick puppy back. You can have the choice of the litter, but research, ask questions. Why do you just like this dog? Is it a top dog? Is it going to blend with your females? Is it going to bring some new blood in for you? A lot of those things might be better, I think, for someone starting out. Instead of producing your own male. When you produce your own male, it's great and it's fun. Sometimes you put a lot of hopes and dreams in that, and then maybe it just doesn't turn out to be the one you want to use all the time for everything.
Right.
And then you have it. Might be a matter of convenience, but it also could breed you into a corner. So it's important that you're specific in what you want to do. And if you're not quite sure of that yet, I wouldn't box myself in.
Right. From what I'm taking from Regina and Will's question, they have 3 females and they don't have a male. So I think in order to produce your own male, you're going to have to go outside your yard anyway, just like Jamie said. Find males that complement your females. You have 3 females. Find 3 outside males that complement those females. So basically mirroring exactly what Jamie just said. Find that outside dog and bring him in. And then don't be afraid to keep as much off of these litters as you can. Pay the stud fee, just like Jamie said, pay the stud fee so you have your pick out of whatever the fuck you want out of your litter. You don't ever want to give up a first pick to anybody.
Have you done that?
Never, never.
I did that. It sounded good at the time. Just beginning.
Well, and sometimes
I was like, I'll just give them the puppy.
Sometimes,
It's okay.
like your first pick and my first pick might be 2 different
Might be
dogs,
different.
so we might be both getting first pick
Yeah.
out of the litter. Considering that's what I wanted, that's what you wanted. So I don't really put a whole lot of stock in that first pick, but I don't even sell second picks until I'm ready to sell stuff out. To move stuff out. So don't be afraid to keep as much as you need to off of those 3 litters, especially in the male department, because that's what you're trying to produce. You always want to keep females, obviously, but keep as many males as you think have potential out of those litters, and then just wait for them. So you're not putting all your eggs in one small basket. Or even 3. Even if you get 1 male out of each one of those litters that have potential, chances are all 3 of those males aren't going to grow up to live up to their potential.
Right, and this is...
Odds are you're probably going to have one that falls off and doesn't turn out to be what you wanted. So you're not putting as many eggs in each individual basket as far as the offspring goes that you're getting off of these studs that you used off the yard. But I feel the same way you do. as far as buying a male, that could work. Don't get me wrong, that could work.
It could work.
But you're going to have to spend some real money. You're going to have to get the checkbook out. You're going to have to do a little budgeting for the year probably, and come up with a good chunk of change, 5 digits most likely, to find a good male to bring into your yard to use. So, in my opinion, if you're going to spend $10, $11, $12, $15,000, you might as well do it with 3 stud fees to males that produce what you want. Go from there. You see what I mean? Because then you got much more chances of actually getting a male that you can use. You know, it's on one hand there's the safe bet of going to buy a producer, but then you're going to really be talking about some money. So I don't know, but I agree with you. I think you got to go outside the yard and you got to find males that are going to help your females out.
Mm-hmm. And I think this is also where having a mentor that you trust and can confide in to really give you an honest opinion and breakdown of that male and help guide you. I think that's very important as well.
Which, that's exactly what we're here for. That's exactly why we're doing this and answering questions, because a lot of people don't have that mentor. Let Bull-NA-ChinaShop be your mentor. We got you. Don't even worry about it.
Mm-hmm. And while we're on that, let's talk about the respect in that. And one of those things is, you know, respecting an honest breakdown and keeping it amongst people it should be amongst, you know.
Right.
That is definitely something to be
Yeah.
respected in
Discretion is a lost art, I feel like, nowadays. Positive and negative conversations get screenshotted and sent all over the world now. So discretion's a big deal, and if we have a conversation and I give you some advice, let's keep that between us. You know what I mean? I'm not giving the whole world advice. You were nice enough to ask for it. That's why we had the conversation in the first place. I agree with that 100%, you know. If it's a conversation where I'm trying to help you, let's keep it between us.
And you know, that's old dogman principles right there, you know. It was.
Well, I never really had like a mentor like when I first started that said, hey, these are the things you need to do. But my family's been raising, breeding, feeding, selling dogs since I was a kid. You just grow up around it and you know the etiquette almost, you know? You kind of pick up the etiquette at a young age if you're around it. But, yeah, I think there's a level of respect there that definitely needs to be upheld.
Yeah, I think through social media we lose a little bit of that, and I would love to see that come back, you know?
In other words, I don't know what you saying. I'm just playing. Okay, question 2. Okay, so this is off the IG page, okay? Jeff Staffs, Jeffes Staffs on Instagram, writes in and asks, on your next podcast, I was wondering if you could answer this question. If you could go back and do it all over again, would you do anything differently? And if yes, what would you do and why? Go ahead. You've got a little bit longer road than me, so I'm just actually I'm curious myself to hear
if I
you
had
done anything
okay, I really would have done something differently. And the first thing I would have done is I would go buy a really nice pair of tennis shoes, and I would run so far from this. I really would. I'm not even playing. I'm not kidding.
It takes a crazy person
I
to do
wouldn't
this.
do this again.
It takes a crazy person to do this shit.
Yeah.
It really does. If you're not a little bit obsessive and a little bit ADD and a little bit off in your brain, you're probably not going to be in this for the long haul. You have to be a little bit off, I feel like, to be a lifelong dog breeder or a farmer. I mean, I compare dog breeders to farmers a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's a 365, right? It's a 24/7 365. You know, bankers, cops, firemen, people that work at the railroad, they've got set hours that they work every day. People would call that a 9 to 5. We don't get that. We don't have that. I don't get off at 5 o'clock and get to go home and let my hair down and forget about everything.
We're intrigued, remember? This is our passion.
It is.
It is our passion.
It
I
needs
don't
to be.
hear my husband
do
say
this.
that about the railroad.
No.
That's his passion.
No. Oh no, I see what you're saying. Like, there's
Like we said that. We're intrigued.
You sacrifice a little
We
bit
love it.
of your time, a lot of your time, but at
Mhm.
the same time, I can't imagine if I wasn't doing this, I don't know what I would be doing.
Right. But I mean, sometimes it goes different ways that you're not planning for it to go. You know, I didn't want to run a registry, but was a necessary evil.
Right.
You know, I'm not a secretarial type of person, so in that respect, yes, I would run far away. But
Anybody that's bought a dog from me knows I'm the worst at paperwork you've ever seen. I'm
Most-
worse than
most
Ed
people are,
Shepherd.
yeah.
Ed Shepherd's notorious for taking 6 months on papers. You get papers right around the time your bitch is ready to breed. No, seriously, I'm not a secretarial type of person in
No,
any way.
terrible.
I'm terrible at that aspect of it. But you have to be everything in this, right? You
Yes,
have to
you
be.
do.
You have to be your own secretary. You have
Right.
to be your own photographer. You have to be your own promoter. You have to be everything. You have to be your own vet tech sometimes.
right.
You have to be everything.
You have to be your own counselor. Like, why did I do this? I don't freaking know. Get out. Get out. Run. No, but, you know, you don't have to do it to the extreme we did either. And I think sometimes that just happens before you know it. You know, 2 dogs in the litter. Now you have 4. Pretty soon you're building pens in the backyard. Pretty soon you're looking at a new house
But when you're good
in the
at,
country.
when you're good at something
But you
though,
love it.
and you love it, it's hard to pull
is.
back.
It's really
For
hard.
me, anyway.
Especially when you're young, too. 20 years ago, I mean, I competed in so many things, and, you know, we trained dogs every single night, the kids and I, and, I mean, the whole family. It was great, and, you know, you meet a lot of different people. A lot of things.
Other than
wouldn't have
running
happened.
shoes, though,
Well,
anything
running
you could,
shoes.
anything that like stands out as far as a breeding that you should have done that you didn't, or I feel like you're not really the type of person to sit around and think about regrets like that, though. You know, as far as breedings.
You know, one thing that I did that I thought was going to be the biggest regret of my life ever. I mean, it was such a big decision for me, was when I had American Bulldogs, Old English Bulldogs, and I was doing the Shorty Bulls, and 3 breeds was, I mean, we were so involved. It was too much. So I had to let the oldies go. And, oh my gosh, that was the biggest decision for me. One of the biggest ever.
I bet.
And, you know, it just tore me up, and I put so much into that, and I sold the whole thing as a unit to one person that I knew really well, and it ended up not being the horrible thing I thought, because it was blood I'd never get back, and, you know, yada yada yada. It was going to be the end of things, but what I found out was nobody ever takes your knowledge away.
Right.
And there's always more dogs, and your resources are what's important.
And
if you have those,
once you figure out how to match traits, I feel like you could carry that across a lot of different breeds. We actually have a good quote about pedigrees too for the outro.
Oh, we do.
I actually can't wait for that now. I wish I wouldn't have thought of that in the middle of this question.
One thing I do differently too, though, is I would make everything to last right off jump. You know, I would buy. I didn't really buy like high quality crates and things right at first. You know.
Even like
I
markers
bought
for the
chain link,
kennel
you know,
and
like
stuff.
chain link
Right.
fence.
Right.
Chain link fence from the farm store. And then it didn't work for my dogs, you know, so
But
that was kind of
sometimes,
wasted.
like,
I had to get
Sometimes you're
8
not
gauge.
in a financial position
Exactly,
to be able
right.
to buy the best shit when you first come in, and you have to do some litters and invest some money back into your program and upgrade shit. But I feel like that would have been. I would have waited until I bought my own house.
really. That would be extra hard.
And
to
I'm
do
still
that.
I still don't own a house. So if you guys think that I'm like happy and homeowner now and everything's set, no, still struggling. But I would have waited because of I moved since I started breeding. I've moved 4 times, right?
And that's hard to do.
And
with
it was
dogs.
so difficult each time I moved, breaking down a setup and resetting up, and then finding somewhere to actually put the setup at the new spot. And then when we moved the whole fucking thing across the country out here, you know, going into another rental where I would just like to have my own spot so I could set up things my way, how I want them for from now till the end. I want to be able to set something up for 20 years to where I walk in my building every morning for the next 20 years and I have a routine every fucking day and I know that's mine and I can customize it how I want to. People don't think about that. Like, there are some obstacles to not having your setup the way it needs to be. You know, facilities are a big thing. I have an outdoor setup now, which is great. It works great. All the dogs are happy and comfortable, and it's clean, and I have no problems. But I would just like to have, you know, because on the property I'm on right now, I can't really upgrade any because it's temporary because it's not mine. So I would like to, if I could do it over, I probably would have bought a house. Even though, looking back now, I'm glad I didn't because I would have been selling that motherfucker anyway to move out here. But I would probably buy a house starting out with and then build my facility the way I wanted it from Jump Street. And that's still coming. That's still a goal. It just got put on the sidetrack when I started all these other 15 fucking projects I'm involved in. Dogs and pictures and podcasting and videos and, you know, judging and everything, all this stuff I'm involved in. It's kind of now almost got pushed to a back burner where most people put that up front buying a home, and that's up front for a lot of people where I just have sometimes I like to come in the back door. Sometimes I like to take the scenic route to get where I'm going, you know? Okay. But overall, as far as like the dogs go, what I bought and what I had and I can't really say there's anything I would have done differently because it got me to where I am right now. You know what I mean?
That is so true.
And I'm super comfortable, whether anybody else feels like it or not. I'm super comfortable with the stock that I have now. So I don't know if I'd really change anything as far as breedings or dogs or anything like that. Maybe just the situation. Maybe just the actual facility itself and being able to customize my shit.
What about record keeping? Did you do that right?
I am terrible.
Did you do that right off the start? That's something.
Still don't.
Yeah, it seems like it's not really that necessary when you just have a few dogs.
No, I want to.
But someday you'll want to remember.
I want
all those
that.
things.
I'm just no good at that. Like I don't. It doesn't even come into my mind that that's something that needs to happen until I'm like, it's 3 a.m. I'm getting ready to smoke something, go to bed. You know, then I was like, oh, hey, you know, it'd be nice to have a record of where all of everything is and who it went to and how many litters it had and what offspring are, you know.
Yeah.
You remember some of that, but you don't remember them all. It's impossible.
I mean, when you first start, just start a notebook with the year on it. Journal in it when you know, whatever you want to, but keep track of your litters. And, you know, a lot of us take pictures of everything now. So, but that's one of the things that's so important. If you're thinking you're going to be breeding, take pictures of everything, and then you'll have a reference. So you can say, you know, this dog looked like this when he was a puppy. I've seen that head before. It was ugly in this stage, and this is what it turned into. So you have something to compare to.
Which you do that anyway with every litter.
Yeah,
you do that anyway, so you might as well just write it down. I agree, and I wish that I was more like disciplined with that stuff. You know, I wish I was. I don't know.
You know what
I just don't. It don't even come into my mind. Like I'd never even think about it until, like I said, until I'm.
It's amazing until you write it down and keep track, what you really put into this. I mean, sure, you remember, you know, we spent such and such on registration fees, and this was a stud fee, and this is our vet bill. This is what we pay for food. But, you know, we don't count all the other little things unless we're aware of that.
Right.
Leashes, bowls, collars, front line. I mean, you name it. When you keep track of all those things, it can really set you down at the end of the year, shock you. And
a lot of you guys have 10 dogs or less. I'm gonna say the majority, the vast majority of my audience has 10 dogs or less.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't even really think of that
It's
till
hard
now.
for someone that has 10 dogs or less, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this, no negative connotation whatsoever. I'm just saying it's hard for someone to understand the money that is spent every month on an operation the size of Jamie's or the size of Rob Lee's or the size of a lot of these,
I forget
you know,
that.
bigger operations, the money that gets spent every month just to maintain and operate that program is like half of
That's
what
what I
most
needed
people,
the
you know,
Nikes.
most people are making in a 6 month period, you know. So it's like the vet, the vitamins, the food, the, like you're saying, the bowls, the leashes, the gas, the
rock, the gravel to put in the kennel.
Right.
You know?
And we're going to get into that a little bit, a little revamp of the Blue River facility too. That's we're going to get into that. Okay, question number 3. This is from Terrence.Williams19 on Instagram. Shout out to Terrence, big supporter. I appreciate you, sir. Number 3. First of all, I love your show. Thank you. Wanted to ask why Dine is so bad. This is actually a 2-part question, so that's part 1. Why is Dine so bad?
Well, let's. Does everybody know what Dine is?
I think for the most part, if you guys don't know what Dine is, it's like a high-calorie liquid that you pour on. It's like an additional thing for sick dogs or something that's in desperate need of some calories really fast.
It's like syrup.
It's like syrup. Yeah, right. But it also contains chemicals that are in antifreeze. So I'm not
Really?
That's one of the reasons why it's so bad. But we've both experienced, like, I've used Dime before. Some situations it's not a bad thing.
Well,
but
and a
those
lot
are
of people, you know,
very few and far between.
yeah, just dump the Dine on the food, you know, hoping to add this mass and girth and extra calories, and
Yeah, don't do that.
it's not the fast answer.
You can shut down your dog's liver and kidneys with Dine. That is a fact. That's not something I made up. That is a fact.
And Dine it wasn't created to use that way anyway.
No.
You know?
But we both had experiences, we were talking earlier, where I've used Dime before to try to help add some weight before a show and literally watch my dog projectile shit just water across like the whole kennel. I'm talking 6 feet across this thing, just splattering shit against the side of the kennel. So, and you said you had the same thing where it was just like somebody painted the walls.
Yes, my dog obviously got nervous because she was not supposed to do that in the house.
Right.
And started turning circles.
Just
So we had a good spray. And my father-in-law just arrived from Arizona. And that was,
it was like the scene from The Predator, the
long
guys
time
on
ago.
the minigun just spinning in circles.
It
just
was like that.
spraying
And it was
shit.
one of those mornings when you're in bed and you smell this.
Right.
Nobody's up and you're like, oh my God, what is that?
So you know before you even open your eyes, when you get that smell in your nose,
And Mike said,
that it's going to be a bad day.
Mike
Today's
said,
going to be a bad day.
you gave her that stuff, didn't you? And I was like, no.
No.
What stuff? He's like, that stuff. And it was the Dine.
So if you've got a sick dog and you don't have NutriCal, but you have Dine handy, use a little bit of Dine just to get the blood sugar back to normal, some calories in its system. You can use it for stuff like that. Don't use Dine to add weight to your dog. Just don't do it.
It's not a meal
It's not
replacement.
worth the risk.
You know, an add-on to it.
Okay, second part of the question.
I hope that answered your question, Terrence.
It's not terrible, dude, but it's not good either. It's one of those things where you use it in certain situations, specific situations, and you just stay away from it. I mean, me personally, I don't know about everybody else.
It's like a little is good and more is not better. Like we do everything in
Right.
America.
Right.
Okay, a little is okay.
A little is just perfect. Okay, second part of the question, what kind of multivitamins do you feed your dogs? I use New Vet Plus. Something
I was going to ask you about that,
I just started probably 6 months ago because our vet, Dr. Griffin, just mentioned something to me.
Pardon me.
That if you don't have at least your breeding females on a multivitamin, that could be part of the reason why the small litters and maybe not getting pregnant and just not as consistent with the whole breeding process. Since then, we haven't. I have no wood to knock on. We haven't missed one. And I'm not saying it has anything to do with the vitamins, but that's a coincidence. since I said probably about 7, 8 months ago, we haven't missed one. So
I'm not a big. I always think somebody's trying to sell me some stuff.
right.
And I'm thinking I feed good quality food. Excuse me, my females are healthy. Why do I need that? So he did tell me that as well.
Right.
So I was kind of wondering about your results.
Do you need water?
Mm-hmm. I was kind of wondering how that was working for you.
They're a little bit pricey as far as multivitamins go. It's going to cost you some money, but if you're breeding dogs and you have, let's say maybe the past 3 years you've had 2 or 3 females that missed. Maybe this year you don't have any females that missed. It's going to pay for itself right there in that first year, But either way, just not even about breeding, not about puppies or litters or anything like that. Immune system, digestive system, all of these things, respiratory, circulatory, like all nervous system, all of your whole dog, it's important for him to have a balanced diet and have all the vitamins and minerals they need, just like your kids growing up, just like adult people now. A multivitamin's important thing. I didn't use New Vet for a long time. I used Vita wafers from Upco, and I didn't switch because they were bad. I never had any issues with them. It was just a suggestion from the vet, because he tried it and he was having a little different result as far as his females, and I tried it and I'm having the same result. So
That's great.
New Vet plus Vita wafers. Or no, not Vita wafers.
Goodness.
New Vet plus wafers.
New Vet Plus. I'm going to have to try it now. I've been waiting to hear.
Now, do you think that Game Changer that we use could be considered a multivitamin?
Well,
Because that's got, I was looking at the
that
ingredients,
has
it has a lot of stuff in it.
It has a lot of good stuff in it.
It's more.
The reason
more
I
like
would
an
use a
additive,
vitamin
though.
probably is for the folic acid, in a pregnancy. I feel like I give my dogs a good diet, but, you guys are getting results, so I have to check it out. But
Right, and the dog food industry, in my opinion, the dog food industry is all shit across the board. There's not one, seriously,
you know what we should do?
there's not one kibble you can get that has a full balanced diet. There's just not one you can buy. And I know everybody's going to have comments and, I use science diet. That is shit. It's all, if you're feeding kibble, it's not great, but what are the alternatives?
But I'm going to feed kibble. Yeah.
I'm going to feed
I'm gonna
kibble
feed
also.
kibble.
You feed raw meat and you got to feed, with these bull breed dogs, they need calories. Like everybody's so focused on the protein and the fat content. They need calories. Like a calorie count is important for these massive, bulky dogs. Just like for big, heavy, strong men or, CrossFitters or bodybuilders, they need overall calories to carry that bulk. These breeds are the same way. So I feel like a raw diet with almost, probably half of the fat you're going to get in kibble and half of the calories you're going to get, it's just not enough. You want to feed raw with your kibble, that's probably all right. But you have to feed a lot of meat to get the amount of calories these dogs need.
You know what we ought to do, Ty? We're not very far from some dog food. Plants, factories, whatever.
Right?
That might be very interesting. Tour.
Yeah, just to see what
You guys
goes
want to go to
into
the dog food plant? Do you want to see what you can
Oh,
get
they're
at the
never
dog
going to let
food
me
plant?
video for sure.
I don't know.
They're not going to let us catch these rats getting thrown into the vats. No way.
Okay, now do you really think there's rats
They're
in
going to be
dog food?
all I picture is just wheelbarrows of horse heads just being pushed down
Well,
the
I
aisle.
don't know. I imagine like fresh lamb and baskets of Bountiful Harvest. And
No, that's not what I
there's
see
some
at all.
salmon.
I see horse heads and I see pig
my
feet
God.
and I just see barrels of them just being pushed into the, and then it's all in one big vat and then it comes out and gets put in bags labeled as something different.
You must have went to like Alpo
Yeah.
somewhere.
It all comes out and it's just a chicken, beef, high maintenance, what do they call it? Maintenance for the older dogs. It's all the same shit. Just
And
just
then they
gets
have
put
the
in
burnt
different bags.
stuff, the stuff that didn't make the form of the kernel. That's all seconds,
Yeah, what do they call it? The riffraff.
Sweepings.
Oh,
I
the
think
sweepings.
The sweepings. Yeah.
But no, in my opinion, dog food right now is not. There's not really a dog food. There's some dog foods that are better than others. I'm not saying there's not good foods. All I'm saying is there's not one food that has a full, complete, balanced diet with all the vitamins and minerals. And if there is, if it says that on the bag, test that shit. Because I promise it doesn't come back with the same numbers that are on the bag.
And
just how it works.
What might work for you may not work for me, and it may not work for all of your dogs too.
Right.
So,
Right.
It's individual too. But
I just think the
we have a lot of
vitamins
choices.
and minerals that you get from a multi just
Yeah.
makes me feel more secure, and I sleep better at night. That's all that is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, question number 4.
Okay.
This comes from Instagram also, concrete.jungles.bullycamp. Asks, how can I get your podcast on Android? Apparently,
Do you want me to answer this one?
there's
I don't
actually
know.
been some confusion the first 6 months or so we did this, that the podcast was only on iTunes. It's not true. If you have an Android, if you have a Google phone, if you have I was almost going to say flip phone, but they don't even have internet. But whatever phone you have, iPad, MacBook, HP, whatever laptop you have, whatever computer you have, you can get the podcast on Bull-NA-ChinaShop.com. If you go to the blog page, at the top of the page is the newest episode of the podcast, and the further you scroll down that blog page, the further back in the catalog you go, all the way down to number 1, okay? And each one of those podcast posts on the blog page has a direct link right in the post. So you click the link and you go right to my Libsyn media player, which doesn't matter what device or platform you're on. Go right to the Libsyn media player and you'll be able to listen to the podcast. Or if you haven't been to Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV yet on YouTube, all the podcasts from I think episode 41 up to now are full-length episodes on the YouTube channel as well. So, but thanks for listening. Thanks for even asking that question. A lot of people would have seen the iTunes link with an Android and just walked away. I actually think you can get a podcast app for Android now also, to where you can download and subscribe. I'm not sure what the app's called. I'm not a tech guy, so but I've had feedback from other people looking for the link, have that app, and they've used it. So, doesn't matter what you have.
Any of that.
Doesn't matter
if I'm on Instagram.
She is. But it doesn't matter what device or what platform, or it doesn't matter. You can get the podcast, and everybody can listen to the podcast. I made sure it wasn't just specific to iTunes, and it wasn't just specific to Android or Samsung or Google or Nexus, or I don't even know what the hell they are. But anything and everything, you can get the podcast. Oh, we have one more episode, or question 5. This is from someone who would like to remain anonymous. Very close to both of us, who happens to own a brindle dog. I say that just so you understand why the question is what it is. Why does everyone hate brindle? I'm going to let you just jump on that. I got so much. I have so much.
Everyone doesn't hate brindle. Not everyone.
Not everyone.
Not everyone. I kind of like a nice brindle. I'm a big believer in brindle.
Well, not a lot of breeds have brindle. So I think people coming in from other breeds that don't have that color, I think sometimes they, it's a new thing, and I think sometimes people are resistant to new things. But I personally, I like brindle on certain breeds, but other breeds I don't. Whereas, like, prime example, English Bulldog, okay? You're not really looking for, lines or, muscle to pop out, or, there's certain things that brindle just kind of covers up. On a bully or a shorty bull, you want to see that neck, you want to see that shoulder, you want to see all the lines and you want to see all that stuff. Brindle kind of takes that away to a certain extent. If it's a good dog, it doesn't matter what color it is, though.
Right, that's very true. I think you know, younger people maybe don't like brindle as much as some of the rest
Fucking
of us do.
millennials.
Millennials.
I'm a millennial, so.
I'm not. And I happen to like brindle. Actually, I have brindle on lock. Anything that's happened for me came from brindle. But taking it way back, you'll hear the old guys say how durable brindle is. That's a durable.
Well, I know it's a
durable
strong
color.
fucking color
Yeah, it's
gene.
like camouflage.
You know, it's a strong ass gene.
It's a strong ass gene, and you know it's a healthy. I mean, durable. That's the best word for it. Durable.
You know, I say I don't like brindle,
Uh-huh.
but the first dog I ever had, probably the dog I've been closest with my whole life, was brindle.
You know, I think people don't
Hey.
like brindle because maybe it looks mean. It has a mean. I mean, I think if you do some
People
research,
associate it maybe
Right.
with fighting and stuff. Maybe you think?
yeah, and because it, you know, it has a dark face. You know, dark, usually dark around the eyes, and
A lot of the Colby dogs were brindle dogs.
you know,
Well, a lot of American Pit Bull Terriers in
Mhm.
general were brindle dogs.
yeah, and I don't know. I really like a brindle. There is such thing as a muddy brindle. You know,
Oh, there's muddy brindle, chocolate brindle, reverse brindle,
I actually came up with one of my own brindles
She's
called
got a-
camo brindle
camo brindle,
because I lost a little brindle
tiger stripe brindle.
puppy in the window well and couldn't see it, and it was there, camouflaged because of its brindle.
That might have been clutch, actually.
But this is my question: is brindle the same as brindle?
Brindle. Now, listen. I've heard brindle,
Brindle,
or I've heard brindle. I'm not sure if I heard brindle before.
just an old brindle dog.
Just get them brindle dogs.
Uh-huh.
That's like you need $650. You ever seen that check that floats around? Somebody just wrote
For the brindle dog.
$650.
Mm-hmm. But in bulldogs, red brindle used to be the main. That was the first color of choice.
Right.
Main brindle with the red brindle with the white. So, you know, there's a lot of shades of brindle. Actually, I think brindle's gonna come back around when we have every breed and every color, and we're almost down to the last one because we're almost past Merle. What's after Merle?
Yeah, what
Brindle.
what's gonna be the color craze after Merle's done? Because Merle's fizzing out already, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like each one had a shorter width on the graph of popularity.
You know why? This is why I think that is. Because everyone has access to the shit now.
Yeah.
You know, they see, Merles are popular. They can go scoop up 2 shit Merle dogs. Now they got Merle
Right.
puppies everywhere.
But anyway, I'm gonna have brindle. Okay, so I'm sorry that everyone doesn't like brindle. I'm sorry that everyone misses out that way.
I talk a lot of shit about brindle, but 2 dogs that I have as pets. My first dog, Clutch now. You know what
Clutch
I mean?
is really brindle.
Lives in the house, sleeps in my bed. So I talk a lot of shit, but a good dog's a good dog. Doesn't matter what color it is. Brindle, you know, a color's a color. We all like the flashy and the tries and all this stuff. A good dog's a good dog. Doesn't matter what color it is. Okay, product of the week. That ends the questions segment of the show. Product of the week this week. Again, not sponsored. No one's paying me to say this. No one's paying Jamie to say this. Ultrashield Fly Spray by What is it? Arcerbine. That's the company name. Absorbine, something like that.
Absorbing.
See, I can't even read my own writing.
I don't know. I just remembered that, but yeah, absorbing. Mhm.
See, that's a B.
Yeah.
And I read it as an
like
R.
absorbing junior.
Okay. I write in block letters, by the way, if you guys don't know that. I write everything in block letters. Okay, so Ultrashield Fly Spray by
Absorbing
from valleyvet.com. Something I've been using 3 years now. Something Jamie's used for a while. Actually, Jamie had a little bit of an incident with Ultrashield this summer. I've been using it with good results. It's a sweat-proof, weather-proof insecticide that's safe for your animals. Now, you still don't want to get it in their eyes and their mouth. They're drinking water and whatnot, but it's safe for your animals. Works well, kills 70 species of insects. And it's also supposed to kill, now it doesn't say this on the bottle, but I personally know for a fact that when I spray my dogs with this stuff, I don't have fleas or ticks.
And it stays on. That's what the Ultra
And it
Shield's
stays
all
on for
about.
about 3 weeks. I get about 3 weeks out
So
of
you
it
don't
before I
have
gotta
to
spray
use
again. Right.
a whole lot. That's what I loved about it. I could spray it on. You know, I've used SWAT, and we know SWAT is the salve
Right.
for their ears, and it's messy, you know,
Hate it.
and you have to apply it a lot. So,
And you've used Bronco before, yeah?
oh yes, use Bronco. And so
Which I thought Bronco worked good for a lot of years too, but
Bronco
it just feel like the flies got immune to that shit.
Right.
It was like, oh, Bronco,
Right.
yeah, we're good. No, we're fine.
Yeah, we're immune to that. But the Ultra Shield was nice because it's waterproof, and my dogs love to get in the water.
Right.
You know, and then they sit around and they're warm. It's warm. The flies
Now,
want to be on there.
what were you saying earlier though? You said you think you got a bad batch.
Yes, I think I got a bad batch this summer. The flies, you know, when summer hits in Kansas, we don't have any flies, and all of a sudden we just have millions. They're everywhere.
Oh
So
my Lord, this year's been so bad.
hasn't it been? Yeah.
So bad.
And so I went out. I bought 3 bottles, one for here, one for the 2 kennels, and it was doing nothing at all. So, you know, I think they watered it down. Maybe I got a bad batch. I don't know what happened to it, but it wasn't working. So, me being a mom and, you know, gonna get right down to the bottom of everything. And what do? I call the company, and
Called up Absorbine right up.
yes, and I asked them if they changed the recipe, like they wanted to talk to me. But I got a really nice rep at their customer service, and you know, he listened to me. And
Did they change the formula?
no, he says they didn't change the formula, but you have to have the numbers on there's 2 numbers on your bottle.
Right, lot number, I'm sure.
Yes, a lot number, and then a number up at the top that I didn't know what that number was, but I had to give him those, and I got a refund for my watered down Ultra Shield.
Right.
You know, so
Yes.
they do believe in their product enough to do that.
Which that says
Yeah.
a lot because I know a lot of companies have told you to get fucked. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and
you
it's
used-
always been good.
You used it already? Yeah, no, we're good. But I've never had anything like that happen. Hopefully I won't because the flies are fucking terrible this year.
The flies are terrible, but you know, your cure to flies is the best cure ever. Ever, ever, ever.
The fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The high velocity fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put a fan at the end of the kennel that moves a lot of air, like a big wind tunnel fan, indoor shop fan, something like that,
Huge fan.
24-inch, 30-inch fan, 32-inch fan. The flies don't like to be in air that moves that fast, so they'll stay right off them. And the thing is, the dogs lay right in front of the fan for the most part, so they don't get touched by the flies. Works great, and it keeps them cool too. Keeps them real cool. Okay. Okay, so episode 60, Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast, product of the week, Ultrashield Fly Spray by Absorbine. Arsorbean. Okay, time for the sweet spotlight. Episode 60, sweet spotlight.
Sweet spotlight.
You got a pretty big project going
I do.
at the kennel.
I do. First of all, on Sweet Spot, I want to make sure that I'm looking at the right spot in the camera this week. So, you know, I hope you can let me know if I'm looking at the right spot and doing a little better because I'm really working on that. But
I think you're doing great for not. First of all, we're amateurs as far as cameras go, right? I don't like being on camera really. I'm not used to it and I'm not experienced with it. So this is all a new thing. I feel like we're doing great. First of all, we look good as fuck. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. Always we look good as fuck. B,
you know, I like to burn holes in a person when I'm talking to them.
well, that's what I was
that's
gonna
what
say.
I do.
B, I was gonna say B, the eye contact and stuff, as far as like looking at the camera and where we're corresponding and communicating with the audience and stuff. That's gonna come. I feel like
Okay.
I'm not used to that either, and I didn't go to college, so I never got trained how to talk to a camera. Hopefully, we're doing all right. If we're not, tell us about it. Leave a comment. Share the post and tell us about it.
Share the love.
Anyway, I cut you off. Go right ahead.
That's okay. So this week, I have a nice facility. It's 20 years old. Seen a lot of dogs, and I got the opportunity by some wonderful people to have the facility overhauled, I guess you'd say. We're not
I believe
doing,
the phrase she used the other day was "pimp my kennel."
It was Pimp My Kennel. It was, and let me tell you, it's really. I can't wait till you see the
I can't
paint.
wait to see it either.
Listen, who has hammered copper kennels? Anybody?
I don't.
I mean,
think
it's like so
you're the first one. I think.
loud. It's so cool.
But
It's really loud.
It'll
But
be
it's just
different to
beautiful.
see something with a little bit of flash to it, don't you think?
Oh yeah, I
It'll
love
be
it.
nice.
Yeah, I almost feel like I'm kind of in a brand new vet clinic when I walk in the door now, just for a minute.
I
But,
can't wait to take the video camera through there.
Yeah. Anyway, so they started Monday, and it just sounds like it's just gonna be so easy. We're just gonna do a little painting, and we're gonna fix a couple things. We're gonna stain the floor, and we're gonna power wash every single thing, and
Which I've done that.
which
That
oh my
sucks.
God, that's horrible. Yeah, I know everybody's like, I was just power washing. Not my thing to do, and
Sucks.
because 20 years ago when we built this, I did get to have this kennel. Mike had me on a pretty tight budget, and I wanted a big drainage system. And yeah, he said, "You haven't had a drain all these years. Why would you need a drain? That's why they have squeegees.
I mean, the squeegees do work.
They do work, but
We do.
he thought I would just clog up the drain with, dog debris and stuff. Kind of like, you're not supposed to put all those things down the garbage disposal, but once in a while, I get a little hamburger grease down there when he's not looking, or an eggshell, or maybe a spoon or the dishcloth. So he was scared of the drain, didn't get a drain, so we have to squeegee it. But yeah, we're redoing it, and
With them painting in there, I'm sure you had to take all the dogs out. Yeah.
yeah, the dogs all had to go. Now listen, that has been way worse than I ever anticipated.
I don't even want to
Oh my
think
God.
about that.
First of all, who has 40 XL crates that they can live in? Not me.
No.
Yeah. So, had to get.
Tractor Supply doesn't even have
Oh my
the
God.
crates. It's like
Luckily, though, we have the horse barn. So, and Mike was home, and Nisa was here, and the contractors were here, and they did not even anticipate helping us move dogs as the first thing.
yeah. I'm sure
First thing.
they didn't expect to roll out. Of
We
the
were
truck.
supposed to have that done, but unfortunately, I had to ship a dog. Leave in the middle of the night, was going to get back before they came. Anyway, you know how it is. Dog life didn't work that way, so I was 3 kennels short too. That, somebody was supposed to drop off that didn't, and so now we put them in the horse barn. So we have crates lined up. We have some of the dogs are in horse stalls. Some of them are in a little makeshift kennel at the end of the horse barn, but all of them
That
are.
sounds fucking terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible, and so it's a hot day, and it's hot afternoon, first day. What do? Go get the huge fans, plug them in, and blow all the breakers with my need to have this big airflow. So now we don't have. Now that's a mess too.
Well, the dogs appreciated it for half a second.
Yeah, they were okay for a minute, but today is the 3rd day. They're pretty sure they're in prison for crimes they didn't commit.
Right. When are they supposed to be done?
They're set for parole on maybe Tuesday.
Paroling Tuesday.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's really.
But it'll be worth it though.
Yeah,
it'll be
so
worth
today,
it to have the kennel redone and shit.
Oh, it is, and it's beautiful, and I mean I can't even believe it. I can't wait to show it to you. But today, how many times did you think you could do something nice for a bulldog that would appreciate that? Do you still think that? Do you still get that crazy idea in your head? You're already done with that.
Not even.
Can't
not
give them
just
blankets
a
'cause they chew it
bulldog.
up.
The American bullies either.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do anything nice for them. I think I've told this story before, but at one point in my career, very early, I thought it would be great to get these nice, beautiful painted wooden dog houses. They lasted 4 days. By the fourth day, every one of them was shredded to pieces, and 2 of them were shredded to pieces within 3 hours. You can't do
That's
anything.
funny.
You can't put a blanket in there. They're
No,
shred it, and
they'll
they'll
shred
eat
it.
it, and they'll shit it.
Toys, same thing.
Toys.
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, even if you leave,
Mhm.
if you don't have a water bucket clasped to the
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
side of the kennel, that's going to become something they destroy. Also, I mean, they love biting shit with their face.
They're just bulldogs, you know?
Fact.
So today I decided, I felt bad because they were in crates, so I thought we'd have this little running exercise, right? While the contractor's like, we're on lunch break, I thought, go out. And then I said to Denise, I said, do you think we could take like 7 or 8 at a time? Like, how bad do you think that would be? She said, oh no, I think we can do it. And it was all wonderful. We took them down to the creek, and on the way up the city, and 2 girls decided to just run directly off.
And they
Off,
have
like
a lot
gone.
of room to run.
They have a lot of room to run, so then we have the other 4, you know, that are following the rules, going to the barn. So I see City, and I see him butt off the wrong way. But I have these other 4. You want to talk about some split decisions? You know, seconds to make decisions? Seconds. Yeah, so that was about an hour. By the time we got the 4 pinned in the makeshift kennels, we don't know where the other 3 are. So I thought maybe they came home, went to the factory. Anyway, we drove around. We hunted, hollered for about a good 30 minutes before we found them.
Where were they at?
Under the bridge, sitting there like the Billy Goat Scruff. Like hiding from me, actually. Yeah.
I think they're smarter than we give them credit for.
Well, I don't know, but
I feel like they play the dumb
what
role,
they did is,
but they're really smart.
well, they ruined it, and now the rest of the poor inmates, they're not going out at all.
No yard time.
That's done.
No yard time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's gonna be a really long weekend. I'm kind of stressing out about it, and it's Labor Day weekend. Why we decided to do it then, I don't know, but I'll be glad when this is done. I mean, I'll be really excited. It'll be
look
beautiful.
good. It'll be looking
I'm
good.
afraid that I maybe don't want to put them back in there. It looks so nice.
Oh my god.
No, it doesn't. I mean, like, there's not one paw print. And when I first built this, you know, I wanted it really pretty. I don't know what I was thinking. Black. It's black and red and beige. And yeah, and shows every bit of dirt, hair, slobber, booger. Yeah, everything. So now, I'm really anxious to see this because it's supposed to be, you know, very camouflaged for bulldogs. And they're going to stain my floor, too.
Oh, nice.
Just wait till you see this.
Are you putting lights in?
They're in.
Oh, I already put lights in.
They're LED lights. They're new.
Oh.
And a watering system that I'm really excited about and scared of because I've never had a Lixit. I always thought those were for rabbits, but, you know, my dogs like to swim in the bowl, so maybe this is the best thing is a Lixit. I put it on Facebook. I've had a lot of good comments about them. I was worried that maybe they wouldn't get enough water because, you know, they like water. I like to have a dog that drinks a lot of water.
Yeah. Plus, on hot days, you know, it's like
Yeah.
for me, it's hard to understand something that doesn't actually have a bowl of water where they could get, you know, good drinks out of it. You know, like to where they could. Cool
I would hate to
themselves off.
drink out of a Lixit, I think. I don't know, but we're going to see. We're going to see that. New doors, new
But
frames.
I know people have them. I'm sure it works.
I know I had a lot of good response from it, so we'll see. I'm anxious to see what happens there.
That's a huge project. I do not envy you at all
But-
with that.
The guy said it's not bad. Use PEX or something. PEX and...
No, I'm talking about the whole revamp project.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Just the water systems, like that's a side project within the big project, you know. But I think it'll be super dope, and it'll look really good when it gets done. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize when you have a license, you know, you have to keep it a certain way, like no rust.
Right.
You can't have rust, no cobwebs, no, you know, it's...
Which
No.
I don't know what cobwebs ever done to a dog, but
I don't either, but
in a negative way. Like
I
how
don't
the
know
fuck does a cobweb in the corner of a building affect any dog in that building?
Right.
I don't know. They know. I don't know.
But-
But no one's ever really been through your facility and done a nice video, right? Like nobody's ever been through the dogs and done a.
Jim
A
was
big video.
years ago. Jim from Toy Soldier.
Oh, he did a video. I thought he just come out and do pics.
No, it's a really fast video. It's
Oh.
like fast forward.
Right.
You know, Jim did that video in the river, a little bit of the river, but it was, you know, long time ago. So it's time to do all that.
Yeah, we're definitely doing it. That was another thing I was thinking we should talk about was the new, like, I don't know what I want to call it, a video series or a mini series.
Yes. Let's talk about that.
We're
This is something I've wanted forever.
We're gonna do a 4-part series, basically highlighting video series on the Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV YouTube channel, basically highlighting, you know, the main dogs around here, like the young guns that are, you know, rising stars, and some of the stars that have already solidified their spots, and then we're gonna get the females, and a special tribute video for a couple of the real deal foundation dogs. So we're gonna do a 4-part series, which part 1 was just actually published today.
Yes, part one.
The Young Guns stud edition. What do you think? What do you think about that video?
Oh my gosh, I love that video. I've wanted that for so long. I don't think you guys realize how long this has been, and I hate to just keep harping on it, but you know, it took a lot of dogs to get here. And
I can't even imagine.
you know, Rampage is old. He's 10, and I still breed the dog. I just bred him last week, and you know, people ask me all the time, my dog's 4, can he still be bred? You know, and I've had great success with a lot of older dogs because I don't save semen hardly ever.
Right.
You know, because it pushes me to move forward. With a new breed, I think that's important. You know, but I think this is going to be interesting for a lot of people that have come in recently and maybe don't know or.
Right, because
you know?
in pictures sometimes it's hard to get the proportion.
Well,
of a
some
dog,
dogs just are not photogenic.
Right.
They're not at all. And Rampage is one of those dogs. He doesn't want anything to really do with it. You know, he wants to go chase butterflies and stuff.
Well, I think the real challenge is not just pictures, but the real challenge is finding a photographer, videographer who understands dogs enough to make your dogs look good. Right?
Now
There's nothing worse than having somebody come over to do a video
That scares me to death.
and showing your dog, and then you have no control over the editing. I know she was nervous about this, even with me.
Oh my gosh, that makes
But
me
I know, I breed dogs. I know how a dog should look. Like I know, you know, how it should be represented by, you know, the dog that I see in front of me. I breed dogs, and I
But the
know
angles,
how
you know.
important it is to get those
Oh.
angles. I know
You
how
can just
important
destroy
it is
things.
to have the dog actually look good on the video. And some of these videographers out here just taking videos and, you know, they're getting good, crisp, clean shots, and the video quality is really good, but the dog looks like, you know, half of what it actually is, or just doesn't live up to what you think it is. That comes from having an eye for a dog and knowing how you want your own dogs to be represented, so then you can carry that over into other people's dogs. Where hopefully that'll be, you know, not, I don't want to say selling point because I'm not really trying to sell anything, but hopefully that'll be a positive point to people who want to you know have me do videos for them. I know how to make your dogs look good.
That's
you know?
that's huge to me, and that's another thing I don't think people realize until
Stressful,
later in your kennel life. But every single dog I look at like has a career.
Right, exactly.
And it does have a career.
It does have a career.
And I take it very much to heart when I'm anal about pictures.
Right.
You know, you don't know what people are trying to do. And some people are completely innocent.
I've taken pictures of this chick multiple times that I thought were awesome, hated them, okay? Which I get that because I look at pictures, you know, really good photographers take for me and my stuff, and I'm just like, that's not the shot that I would want. It's not, you know, that's not the one. Even though they think it's like, oh my God, this is one of the best pictures I've ever taken. the quality's good. My dog looks like shit. So I understand that. And I think that's what kind
And
of
it's
helps
not
me.
about making them look better than they are.
No.
Or, you know, all
Just
this
representing
photoshopping
the dog.
stuff. It's not about that. I just want it accurate, and so you can see what I see.
Right.
You know, and anytime we do anything with animals, we need to be eye level. Which with my dogs, that means you have to be on the ground because they're
On the ground.
short.
On the
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah, but I mean shooting down at them, and it just it makes me crazy. So this video was a long time coming. I've wanted a video with the music for, like a dope video. I don't even say dope. That's a dope video.
No, but I got the beats specifically for this series. Like the beats that I've used are specifically for this little 4-part series.
Yeah.
It's basically going to be, you know, similar setups and layouts and music and stuff for all 4 parts. I want it to be like a compilation of stuff where you can go, like you can post this on your page and in order 1 through 4 and actually show a little bit of your yard.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
there's so many things I want to do that, in the day-to-day routine, it just doesn't get done. It's just too much.
That's like That's like where the documentary comes in, and that's different topic for a different day.
Yes, that's all
But
different.
I just want people to be able to see the dogs for what they are, because people have wild misconceptions
They
about
have
the
wild
quality of animals that are out here, especially shorty bulls. So I just want to be able to show them and represent them the way they are, and show people how massive and compact and athletic, and these, it's just crazy sometimes, and it blows me away even sometimes.
I think it's cool that we're starting with the now, and then going backward, and you can see a lot of things, where we came from.
Yeah, this was not planned. This is all actually came about like pretty spontaneously.
It did.
I knew I wanted to do a video of some shorty bulls because I don't have any. I look at my channel as like a resume. Like these videos I'm putting together are like a resume for me in the future. Whether I want to get into photography and videography or not, I don't know as far as the next level and, getting hired by somebody and doing all that. I don't know if I want to, but I want this to be a resume. Like no matter what dog or breed or situation, I can shoot it. You know what I mean? And in order to be able to say that, you have to get into every breed and every situation.
Yeah.
So I knew I wanted to shoot a video. I just didn't know how the extent of it until we really dug into it. And I'm like, we can make this a whole fucking whole thing. Like instead of making one 30-minute video on the river, we make 4, 5-6 minute videos to really showcase, different parts of the program, the young studs, the established studs, the females, and then the foundation that really everything comes from. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited as fuck about it.
Yeah, I hope it makes sense, and you see, how it's come. I didn't realize till we started doing this really how really rare it is to see a kennel with 10-year-old stuff, to be able to see a whole pedigree living and breathing right in front of you.
Super rare.
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize that. That's
super
crazy.
Rare.
Crazy stuff. So, yeah, you'll get to see that.
I mean, I feel like it's rare because most people, when their stuff hits 6 years old, 7 years old, and it's time to retire, it gets shipped out, gets pet homed, or they prematurely retire a stud or a bitch when it doesn't need to be retired, Yeah, I'm excited about it. I can't wait for it to all be done and shit. I can't wait to shoot Rampage. Like, I cannot wait to shoot Rampage. I hope I can make him look good because, like you said,
it'll be really a challenge because he's
the opposite of a photogenic dog.
Yes, and he's old. He's not photogenic, and he's 10.
You know what's crazy, though? He doesn't look 10 years old. Mm-hmm. He doesn't. I mean, you could tell he's not 5 anymore, but he doesn't look 10 to me.
He still moves around. He still gets with it.
He's the boss everywhere he goes.
He's still got, he's still massive, meaty, healthy. He's not skinny, old. Yeah.
Okay, upcoming events.
Oh,
think I'm
we
gonna
got some
save-
doozies.
I think I'm going to save this for next week since we're already over an hour. So, upcoming events.
Mm-hmm.
We got the World Cup coming this weekend. Next week.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
actually,
gonna be
excuse me, not this
huge.
weekend. This
The
is
9th.
Saturday, September 9th.
My
it's gonna be
birthday is
fucking
actually
huge.
before that. Did you know that?
September 8th. I don't know. That was a wild stab in the dark.
Kind of a good guess, though. That's okay.
I had like one out of 9 or 8 odds right there.
September 9th, World Cup.
That's your birthday.
No.
Oh well, then.
I'm going to be celebrating it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just a day or two before.
Copy. So, World
drag
Cup, ABKC World Cup. I believe this is the 3rd annual, hosted by True Phase and Atlanta Kennel. It's in Atlanta, right at the airport. The venue is actually connected to the airport. Don't even have to get a shuttle when you get
That
down
is
there.
so nice, too. Everything's right there.
Everything's right there.
They're going to be having a bread by class.
Yeah, they're getting a Legends class,
Legends
bred by
class.
class. I mean, what is it? Heavy hitters class. I mean, the show is set up four shows, top-notch judges. Nothing was spared putting this show on. I promise you. I've had behind-the-scenes looks at the shit that's going on. World Cup, ABKC World Cup, September 9th, sponsored by Impact Crates.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers from True Phase and Atlanta Kennel, you guys owe me money. No, I'm just playing. Okay, so
all the MCs are going to be there. I saw.
yeah, like 6 MCs. I didn't even know we had that many.
I
MCs.
didn't even know we did either, but it's going to be a broadcast of
I'm not even sure
what's
what
a
an
blow-by-blow
MC is.
account
Yeah.
of the day.
Yeah, fact. If
I
you
mean,
got,
there's going to be so many freaking live feeds.
if you
Facebook
got all
might
those
shut
guys
down
on Facebook, you
Oh
can
my
literally
gosh.
get a play-by-play for
Yeah.
the entire day.
the whole day.
Okay, so that'll be in Atlanta. The same weekend, next weekend, I will be in Australia for...
Yes, I can't wait till you go there, too.
I've got the address right here. Okay, info. ABKC Australia, Hawkesbury Road Showground. Or, no, I'm sorry. Hawkesbury Showground, Racecourse Road, Clarendon, Australia. Saturday night, 7 p.m., we're going to be doing a meet and greet. First ever Bull-NA-ChinaShop meet and greet. We'll be doing a live Q&A also. Going to try to get a podcast in, maybe even a video. I'll be vlogging it for sure. And then 10 a.m. on Sunday, September 10th, the show starts. That's ABKC Australia, September 10th. I'll see you motherfuckers down under. And then we got the Team Positive, right?
Team Positive.
What's the date on that? I didn't have a date for that.
Oh, goodness. I need a calendar,
I
but
think
it's like
September.
the 14th, 15th, whatever that
I
weekend
was actually
is.
going to say September 16th.
That's
what I was
probably
gonna
the
say.
day.
So
Yeah. Team Positive is actually in
because the
Texas.
9th is a Saturday, so it'll be the next
Yes.
weekend, which is the 16th.
Right. that's the
September
day.
16th.
They're in Texas right now. They volunteered. They have so many.
Listen, Joel's a monster.
Yeah.
Shout out to Joel Vargas. I don't know
Yeah,
what
he is a
is
monster.
going on, man, but you're a monster as far as this charity and donation and stuff goes.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that brings up a good thing. For everybody that's in Texas dealing with that Harvey shit, shout out to you guys, man. I seen there's that picture going around the internet with dude walking out holding this bully.
It gives me chills.
It literally it's heartbreaking because I know that there are people that left their fucking animals behind. You know there are people, there's probably just as many people carrying their animals out as left them behind, right? If you left your animals behind, we can't be friends. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if my car's floating away, I'm not leaving my dogs behind. I don't care. You know what I mean? It's just, for me, it's unacceptable. I seen them rescuing horses. Horses were left in corrals. Dogs were chained up to telephone poles and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I can't agree with that. I can't get on that page. But everybody that went through that shit, that's devastating down there. Shout out to you guys.
It would be horrible.
It would just be terrible.
We had a little. I mean, it wasn't even really a flood. It was like a flash storm. I don't know if you remember that or not.
Yeah.
It was like knee deep in the one corner where the pups were.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to go get. Oh, it was just
It was like a pool.
crazy.
It was like a pond in the backyard there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't imagine. It would be horrible.
No, I
Yeah.
can't imagine.
God bless
I can't imagine.
everyone in the
Anyway,
waters down there.
Team Positive, September 16th. That's going to be in Wichita again?
No, that's going to be in Topeka.
Topeka, Kansas.
Topeka, Kansas.
Yeah, any info on that, contact Joel Vargas on Facebook. Again, shout out, Joel. Shout out to everything you're doing. Appreciate it. Appreciate you. Last time there was media coverage. There was a news spot about all the bullies and shorty bulls being in one spot and all the positive stuff going on. They did a fake Jeopardy game.
Oh, yeah, the Jeopardy game.
With Monopoly
Crazy.
money turned into an arm wrestling competition.
It did.
Shit goes down at the Team Positive event, so
It's
check
fun.
that out. Hit
Yeah.
Joel up if you have any questions. Where can they find you on social media? We do this every week.
Facebook, Jamie Sweet. Same as it's been for 100 years.
Facebook, Jamie Sweet. And
Facebook,
she
Jamie
doesn't
Sweet.
know this, but Shorty Bull 1 or Shorty Bull Sweet on Instagram
That's
also.
what they tell me.
Okay?
Won't be me talking to you on there. I don't know who it'll be.
If you want to find my shit on social media anywhere, Facebook's Ty Lumley, Instagram's Ty_Lumley. Facebook, you can find Bull-NA-ChinaShop.com, Instagram, Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast, Bull-NA-ChinaShop.com website. Also, you can find all the information. Bull-China-Shop Ty on Twitter, Bull-NA-ChinaShop on Snapchat, and Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV on YouTube.
And
Okay.
listen, if you have questions, please send them in.
Right. Any inquiries about photography, videoing, breedings, puppy sales, studs, email realtylumley@gmail.com. If you any of that information from Jamie, she also has an email.
Yes, and you can email me at jsweet727@gmail.com. Get on the list for that. I'm very interested in if you have another bull breed and, you know, you've done this a while and you'd like some coverage of that, please get on the list so we can bring more variety to this show.
I've got my schedule is packed with shit that we're going to be doing. I just can't wait to get everything rolling. I can't wait to get to Australia, enjoy that while I'm down there. Get back. I've got like 3 projects planned for when we get back. We're going to continue on the Shorty Bull videos. Also, I'm going to be doing a new Grand Champion Loki video tomorrow, which is Maestro's brother, dog I produced. Phenomenal dog. I can't wait to get that. But 3 weeks in a row when I get back from Australia, we've got either photo shoots or video shoots. So it's picking up and getting busy already. So if you guys need anything, even show hosts, event hosts, if you need help getting people in the building, let me know. I can help promote also. Okay, last thing for the night. No, not second to last thing. We have a little bit of some ads. Yeah, I got to put my sunglasses up because I can't see shit. Okay? First of all, ABKC Nationals, November 17th. ABKC Nationals is the annual end-of-the-year prestige event. Hosted by the ABKC, where the top dogs of the year come to compete. This year we're in Chicago, Illinois, November 17th at the world-famous Navy Pier. Exclusive custom trophies and coveted Best in Show multi-breed statue available. This year, the judges will be senior ABKC judge Rolando Mata and multi-breed judge Ty Lumley. Hey, that's me. That's this guy.
Nationals.
God damn it, now I lost my spot trying to be cocky. You see that? There will be an award ceremony honoring veterans and a special Wounded Warrior dedication statue handed out also. We will also be titling and awarding the ABKC's top dogs for 2017. There will be worldwide attendance and will feature the breeds American Bully, French Bulldog, English Bulldog, Bull Terriers, Shorty Bulls, Old English Bulldogs, Amstaffs, Cane Corsos, and American Pit Bull Terriers. If you have any of those breeds, any at all, I'll see you in Chicago November 17th.
On the pier.
On the world famous Navy Pier. We're also brought to you by Bull-NA-ChinaShop.com. I've talked about it all the time. Any and all episodes of the podcast can be found on the blog page on Bull-NA-ChinaShop.com. Any and all YouTube videos I put up are on the homepage also. We're also brought to you by the Bully Embassy, Bully Embassy is an elite group of breeders, judges, handlers, and enthusiasts from around the world. We are one of the most sought after groups in the bull breed community. You can find us at your next event. Just look for the big Bully Embassy tent, or go on Facebook, The Bully Embassy, or TheBullyEmbassy.com. I had an outro picked out and shit, but I got to piss so bad I'm not even able to read that.
Oh, you're not going to. Okay, well, next time.
Next week I got 2 things for you. I put a star by this one,
Hey.
and we got that one also.
Now, listen. When you're in Australia, we want to see some, some really cool stuff.
I got it. I got you.
I mean, the cool stuff, like when we were in England.
Like sharks and all the 72 species of poisonous animals that are on that continent that could kill me. None of that. There won't be any of that.
Kangaroo.
I'm actually gonna try to box that buff kangaroo. I think.
I want to see you touching a kangaroo.
I love your faces, people. I'll see you next week. We won't be doing a Sweet Life Saturday next week, as she will be in Atlanta. I'll be in Australia. But we will be doing episode 61 on Wednesday. So I'll see you then. Love your faces, people. Fuck, I gotta pee, James.